Area 51 in Nevada and all of that. And then you can see the old connection to China Lake, which is all taken out, and the Ridgecrest tunnel system going up through connected to San Francisco and the Presidio, going way up north through Coos Bay in Oregon and up and through Washington and all the way up. So all of that's being worked on heavily, as we'll see in this decode. And then this map is the mid-level DUMBs, the more ancient DUMBs. And they figured out, based on their intel, how much flooding all the DUMBs in the world would take. And it would drop the ocean level so vast that it could cause another ice age, because if you drop it too far, you get down into the big currents that circulate through the ocean. Like in the Atlantic, you have the Gulf Stream, and then you have the Horatio current and all of those different currents. And if you upset those currents and the ocean flows, you can literally upset the entire ecosystem of the world. And so they decided they had to use hand-to-hand combat on land, as well as certain advanced techniques that they've just recently come upon, like they took out the DUMB in or Twin Falls, in which they blew a hole in a lava tube that is part of the supervolcano of Yosemite. And in doing so, they flooded that facility down to the deep DUMBs. Now, these ones are the ones that go extremely deep and are very, very ancient. Back when the Satanics first came here, it goes into a hole that Admiral Byrd went into that is in the Arctic, and all of the bases up in Siberia, the deep, extremely deep satanic bases of the satanic beings and the demons. So what you're seeing here is the demonic stuff, the really deep, really evil stuff. That's why it says at the bottom, Wiccacraft. That's, black magic, Satanism, satanic magic, and all of that, casting incantations and spells. And all of this is very dark and deep and evil. And so the battle down there is very horrendous, but the connections underneath the ocean are gone. Those have been blown and flooded. So they don't have the maglev trains going from continent to continent anymore.
This is the last stronghold of the Satanic Illuminati, ancient evil Nephilim bloodlines of Cain. Evidence of this battle can be seen with the fires coming out of sewers, storm holes, drains, and manholes, covers in California.
There's fire actually coming through the manholes at Porter Ranch up at the Ralphs up here. That's pretty crazy. I've never seen that before. A lot of flames coming through there. So it's underground at this moment. There's some more over here coming through another vent. That's wild.
In Alaska, there was and cleaned out the Brooks Range and two bases, which were the Delta Junction and Fort Greely, which are in the same area. In Arizona, there's Fort Hiawatha, or West rather, and intelligence. This was used for intelligence training, mind control, genetics, and in a detention camp for renegade civilian amps and rounding up people when they do their end times. Luke Air Force Base, that's now under White Hat control. Gates Pass Base, that's now under White Hat control. Gila Mountain Area, that's now under White Hat control. And then there's the Grand Wash Cliffs, that's still under the dark side. It's the western edge of the cliffs at the head of Grapevine Wash. It must be reached via Highway 93 and unpaved roads. There's Green Valley. Then under White Hat control is Hualapai Mountains east of the mountain range, 35 miles southeast of Kingman. That's out on the way out to Las Vegas from Flagstaff, Arizona. Then you have Rincon Mountain, north side of Rincon Mountain. And I'll just from now on, if it's under White Hat control, I'll say afterwards. Mount Lemmon, Page goes all the way under Hoover Dam and the reservoir. Safford, Santa Catalina Mountains, the Sedona, Arizona detainment camp located under the Enchantment Reservoir Resort in Boynton Canyon. And then under White Hat control, the Wickiup complex. And that one was just found in the process of cleaning up some other things, and they took it out when they found it. Then there's the Yucca Mountains. You can actually see this as you drive on R40. if you're driving towards California, it's on your right, and it's easily it's you'll see four massive large power cables penetrating into the side of the mountain for that Yucca Mountain. There's a picture of the facility where you go in right there.
Look at that.
Then we have in Arkansas a White Hat now controlled facility in the vicinity of Hardy and Cherokee Village. This is taken under White Hat control during Hurricane Dorian. And then we have the Pine Bluff, 34 degrees, 13.4 north, 92 degrees, 1 minute west. And that's still under the Dark Hat site. In California, that was the article we saw at the beginning where that's where they started the takeover of all of the massive interconnected California system. 29 Palms Marine Base is now under White Hat control. It was identified in military airspace area as our area R2501, which means it's a no-fly zone. And that was southeast of Ludlow, California. China Lake, that was completely neutralized and taken out through the Ridgecrest tunnels. They collapsed them as they came in. Then they did a series of 3 tactical nukes. The first blast was at 6.4. Second one was at 7.1. And another one followed that at 6.1. And for those that understand earthquakes, your initial shock is the highest. Aftershocks aren't lower. So that's not natural. It's really obvious that was intentional. And then you can see the link there about this, which completely made the China Lake base that was on the surface have to be completely rebuilt due to that large facility. And people freak out when I tell them this, but that was a Mark Ultra base, what they call a spark gap grid, where they have a large nuclear blast that hollowed that out to come in and lay hundreds of layers of steel flooring with cages in them that they put children in. When the special forces, a large group of special forces came in, they rescued 35,927 children from this facility. It was one of the primary Mark Ultra development facilities on Earth. Uh-huh. So thank God for our military, like Trump says and Q says, because that's a lot of children that that were going through horrendous situation. It's just, they're in these cages and lights and bells go off and they get electrocuted all the time and mistreated badly to, turn them into Mark Ultra slave bots. Then in Darwin, 4 miles west of Darwin City, there's a dome. Then we have Deep Springs that's now under White Hat control at 37 degrees, 22 minutes north, 117 degrees, 59.3 minutes west. That's then we have Fort Irwin, 35 degrees, 20 minutes north, 116 degrees, 8 minutes west. That was a detainment camp for renegade civilian ops after Hillary got in. They rounded up all of humanity into these detainment camps. That's what, every time you see that, that's what that means. Then under White Hat control, Edwards Air Force Base in the area where Diamond Creek and the South Fork of the Yuba meet. Then still under Black Hat control, George Air Force Base. Under White Hat control is Hellendale. That was the Lockheed underground facility. That was technology and secret projects development base. Los Angeles is under White Hat control on Highway 14 towards Edwards Air Force Base after Palm Day. This was for technology, the Illuminati secret projects. This facility is near the Hachapai Mountains. It's reported that this goes 42 levels deep. It is heavily involved with electronics and high-tech aerospace